It's the Sleepers Podcast. It is Wednesday, July 24th. Hart is in the building in a swing happy golf shirt.
Hey, I mean, it's one of them things that you wish you had more. I know I'm getting greedy. I only got two, but I need more of these. They are comfortable, they're lightweight, and they're slimming. You can't tell me I don't look 247 on this camera right now.
Not to be weird, but how much do you weigh?
272.
Really? Because if I was just tasked with like assigning a weight for you, which I was last night when I was creating you as the coach of my college football 25 team, I put you at 256.
See, that's my ideal weight. I'd love to get to that. That's the goal eventually. Don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's where I'm striving to get towards. But it's good to know that I don't look the part of that. Man, I know I'm a big fella. I also carry a lot of weight in my backside. You really got to put that into the equation. There's at least 25 to 32 pounds hanging on that thing back there. So, you just got to work with it.
Do you know that for every video game I've played for about 5 years now, whenever I'm like creating a my player or anything like that, it's you? Like I
Really?
just always just create you.
Am I special at least?
So you've had various successes and failures. You've been very successful on the PGA Tour. Road to Glory back in the 14 game, you were great on. Haven't gotten far into your career yet. You're still a backup. Tennis, you really struggled. NFL quarterback, you really struggled. Hockey player, you was horrendous and retired very quickly.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah. But it's always fun. It's always fun.
I'm glad. Now I feel like I got to create you in my college football.
It's a lot less fun to be me.
What position would you like to play
in college football?
Yeah, Road to Glory.
I mean, the only thing I could even imagine ever attempting to play is quarterback. I'm way too afraid to do anything else.
Okay, I'll put you at QB.
Okay. Yeah. It would be fun to be like a slot receiver, I guess, though.
Okay, Wes Welker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the dream right there.
Is that the dream? Because, I've actually thought about this in the past. Like, what is peak you looking like, right? Athlete-wise.
You've thought about what peak me looks like?
Yeah. And I pictured what peak GregWaddell looks like compared to athletes. And in my head, I always get back to peak you somehow looking like Julian Edelman.
No, I think peak athleticism me is Tommy Paul, like pretty pointedly.
Isn't Tommy Paul blonde?
No.
He isn't?
No, not at all.
How tall is Tommy Paul?
I would think around my height.
He doesn't have a beard though, does he?
Maybe a little shorter. Tommy Paul does not have a beard.
Then he can't. Then that's why the Edelman. No, this isn't.
That's why I'd be peak though. Tommy Paul with a beard. Special.
No, Tommy Paul just looks like a handsome Scotty Scheffler.
I think that's great for me if I could get there.
True.
Yeah. All right.
Well, two comment of the day. Banter over.
Is the banter quota done?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Lead me, my friend. What do we got?
I most certainly will here. Let's see here. YouTube Studio. Let's go. No, we don't. I don't want to actually read this comment because I know we don't do politics, but someone suggested that Dan Hurley be in the running for VP. And that's just funny to me. Let's see here. Okay, let's go with this one. This one comes from Matt Casey. Cliff was not going to stay short of a 7-figure payout and then some. Plus, Peichel snagged a bunch of portal ads like Acuff and PJ Hayes that will help them prop up the freshman. Matt, I get that. I think Rutgers could have found a way to keep him, even if it was a 7-figure payout and then some. Like, just keep that dude as a piece around Arias and Dylan and Jeremiah. And I think you're really cooking with something special.
Ooh, they got PJ Hayes.
Not a PJ Hayes guy.
Just isn't the whole issue with Rutgers thing like they got Tyson Acuff as like the biggest face of their class. Tyson Acuff, who is like a supreme low level scorer and doesn't do much of anything else. Like they didn't need more scoring cart, did they? That's the last thing I would want on a team with Dylan Harper and Air Bailey is a scorer. So, like, just go get the Tyson Acuff version of a big man. Go get the Tyson Acuff version of like a glue guy 4. And I feel like it all fits a little more. That's not meant to disrespect guys that they added, but I don't see the fits at all. Like they added stuff I don't think they needed any of, and they didn't add everything I would think they needed. I disagree with you. I don't think there was ever a world where they keep Cliff.
No,
This
no chance.
no, this program has to operate right now as if they're going to lose guys like Cliff and Mulcahy, and as long as you land like Pikel's already pivoted, land star recruits instead and make it work.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is. I am actually sending all the shorts we just recorded before this to JK right now, and I need to focus a little bit on that. Would you mind leading the comments in the Discord?
I would not mind reading the comments in the Discord whatsoever. Is there
We're,
any chance you remember what?
yeah, I Maynor at 1:46 p.m. yesterday is the first one to read today.
Wow, you are a
I'm locked
legend.
in. I'm locked
Okay.
in.
Okay, well, there's a lot of comments then. Let's see here. iMainer at 140. Okay, let's go. First one comes from Deacon Sully. Would you start doing meth if it guaranteed your team to win a natty 3 years in a row?
Wait,
Yes.
you skipped. You skipped the one we're supposed to read. We're supposed to
Oh,
read.
iMainer wasn't the last one you read?
No, that's the one you got to start with.
Okay, sorry, my apologies. iMainer. After winning back-to-back titles, what's a more likely outcome for Dan Hurley? He becomes Coach K 2.0 or he becomes Billy Donovan 2.0?
I mean, it's so hard to say it's likely that you end up being Coach K.
The only reason I lean Billy Donovan is because I think Hurley does want to go to the NBA.
I think that's a really, really good question. Um, I think UConn fans will be upset because I think Dan Hurley has already surpassed Billy Donovan in my eyes. But it's more likely you are Billy Donovan than Coach K. It would be most likely anyone who wins 2 titles becomes Billy Donovan than Coach K until we see like a third title and it just keeps happening, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. This one comes from Deacon Soley. Would you start doing meth if it guaranteed your team to win a natty 3 years in a row? Yes, I would.
Define doing meth for me real quick. Like, I feel like the implication of doing meth is like doing meth and continuing to do meth.
Like I'm doing meth, like meth every day.
Like I'm getting into meth. That's a little different than like you know how like a couple years ago, like there's always a jumping off point of like, oh yeah, I'm starting to golf. And there's like, I'm golfing now. I'm a golfer. I'm gonna buy new clubs and play twice a week and do what we do. Or there's like, yeah, I'll play once or twice a year.
So like we'll become like if we do this, we're becoming like real methers.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what is the expectation? Because if it's just like do a meth here and there,
To
then
a meth.
yeah, sure, let's figure it out. But if the expectation is I'm mething every week now, I can't. I would maybe before a daughter, I would have considered it a little more. I can't do it now.
I'm doing it. 3 natties in a row. Crazy. That'd be special. Next comment, Purdue Fox. Is there anything more overrated in the world than Girl Scout cookies? Like seriously, the only thing even close to acceptable is Thin Mints, and that's if you freeze them. I'm so tired of these cookies getting recognition they don't deserve. Are Girl Scout cookies the Tom Izzo of cookies? They've been around forever, and they just aren't that good, even if they were when they first came out.
Hey,
First of all, disrespectful to Coach Izzo. Two, disrespectful to Girl Scout cookies because Do-si-dos slap, tag along slap, Thin Mints like you mentioned slap, frozen Thin Mints definitely slap. I feel like Girl Scout cookies are damn near underrated, to be honest with you. They should get more love and they should be year-round things.
Yeah. I hear the point on this, and I think it could be portrayed in a more successful way. I think the point here is that on a list of all the greatest cookies ever, Girl Scout cookies would not be in the top 10. And that point I agree with. If we are just simply listing out best cookies that are readily available, I would take other cookies.
Yeah,
But
you would take Chips Ahoy cookies over Girl Scout
not
cookies. Like there
necessarily.
should be not a world where
Let's
Chips Ahoys are
not
over.
necessarily. Let's show love where credit is due. Like a good like grandma's cookie, like those little like 2-pack, those are solid. You have the little like obviously I like Chips Ahoy. I've mentioned that, but it doesn't have to be that. There's the little blue bags I'm forgetting right now, but you get them in like the vending machines, and they're like little miniature. I'm forgetting exactly what brand that is now, but they're
Those
nice.
aren't Chips Ahoys?
They might be Chips Ahoy, but maybe a different version. Maybe I just really like various Chips Ahoy. I mean, I would go to war for like a good Oreo double stuff, maybe multiple flavors of Oreos. Like, there's a lot of different types of cookie. The Fudge Stripe cookies special that are ahead of Girl Scout cookies individually. But what makes Girl Scout cookies special is not their taste; it is their availability card. Like you get a surprise cookie from a Girl Scout cookies every now and then. Like, oh, I'm just pulling up. I gotta run some air. I gotta grab a carton of milk at the grocery store, and all of a sudden I'm walking out with cookies because there were some Girl Scouts there. An unexpected cookie elevates this cookie because of its availability. I can't talk, man.
I get what you're getting at here. Also, Purdue Fox, just so you know, I don't know what Girl Scout cookie Matt Painter would be, but Greg, what Girl Scout cookie would you say is like a good Girl Scout cookie, but like it just never won at all? Like it's
Like
always second in the ball, you
tag
know?
along.
Yeah, like yeah, it's a great one, but it's not the top overall cookie.
Yeah, it's a tag along. I hear you.
That cookie's an eating merchant. Sorry, you attack my coach, I attack yours. It is what it is. Guy, why does everyone think Kasparis Jakashonis guy is special? Is he just European? He's good, guy. It's really good.
Guys, bad for the brand for you to do that. It's bad for the brand to play dumb about good player and just play the is he just European card. He's good.
Yeah. Uh Tristan Freeman from busting back shots. Uh who is the who is the worst NBA player who could lead, say, a Germany or a Spain to a top four finish in the Olympics?
I mean, who's the best player on Germany or Spain right now? Because they can both
Yeah,
finish top four at
that
the Olympics.
I think Tristan's trying to be a little funny there.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Doctor, do Bill Self, Roy Williams, and Coach K no ball?
No. I don't know where this is headed, but I'm gonna say no.
Large space, scroll down. Baited. Those three coaches have called IU a blue blood in the past 10 years. Not that I care. He tried it.
You sound like someone who really cares, Doctor. You
Yeah, I think that Doctor, I don't know where he's at in life. And I'm not saying he would sacrifice his firstborn, but he might sacrifice the secondborn to secure blue blood status for Indiana. Like no wins, no nothing. Just they need to be considered a blue blood.
Yeah, I thought Doctor was in our rare territory of like when our program isn't good enough, we like admit it. But that's what I've learned in the last week. He thinks Indiana's truly as great as Kansas and just doesn't care about results. So I can't I've had to separate myself. It saddens me because I wanted to have the candy stripes on all year. But as you know, I demand honesty from my fan bases that I attach myself to.
We've now reached the Malik comment, and I don't know if this is acceptable to read.
You check.
Yesterday at 4:58.
Um,
Do you see the
yeah,
comment?
you can't read that one. Can't read
Okay.
that.
All right. I'll go to the
Malik,
second one.
can we rein it in a little, Malik? I love you, Malik. You're a super valuable member of this community, clearly. Speaking to that point, actually, we had a couple new people join the Discord yesterday. We'll give a shout out to in a moment. But one of them joined, and like Ryan the Lion interacted with him real quick. And they were like, oh, this is the legendary Ryan the Lion. I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity. Like, that's what the Discord has become. Anyone who joins is going to be like, Malik? Like, you're a wild card. But you gotta tone it just a little bit down, Malik. Like, please only comment things we can read without getting sued.
Thank you. That's a good starting point.
It's a good rule.
Yeah. I can read his second comment. I would like to thank Greg for his manners to his amazing other half, his wife. Sleepers he said thank you, which I like to see. Good job, sport, with a grin on my face.
I'm uncomfortable, but thank you for acknowledging it, Malik. I'm a great husband.
Sleeve Nash says LeBron, Ramon James. That's it. That's the comment. Good one, Sleeve. I'm with you. All right, your Serbian boiler.
Oh, is this a Joker one?
Yes.
We're still Djokovicing. Okay.
Do I gotta read that?
Yeah, you do. I want it. I'm in for it. I'm here with it. We're serving volley right now, Cart. Let's go.
All right, your Serbian boiler. Last thing on this, because I'm sure everyone's tired of this. I don't disagree that Djokovic, sorry, is mentally tries to put everyone into the ground, even the little guys. But when the match ends, he is never sour with the young bucks that beat him or anyone else for that matter. Everything he does in a match is just to get an edge, which I would argue he has needed to win a great portion of his matches. If that makes him the villain, so be it. I'm willing to come to common ground with you on that. I know you said I wouldn't sway you, so I am not going to press harder on the crowd stuff. Just know it has been cathartic for me to watch him disappoint loads of people for all the time he has beaten their gods, Nadal and Federer. At the end of the day, Novak has done many things to advance the cause of all players as the president of the ATP Council, and ultimately his biggest op has always been himself. I look forward to his retirement because I think a lot of that will show through more to the haters. Also, look forward to watching Alcaraz chase his destiny, even if I hope he comes up short to Novak. Thanks for hearing me out.
Hey, this is what a good old-fashioned respectful back and forth is called. I appreciate you, your Sorbian boiler. Yeah, I mean, I am allowed to get the final say here now since I assume he commented that to comment it. And if he wants to keep going back and forth, he's welcome to. You're welcome to keep commenting as a paying member of this community. I did tune out for a couple sentences in between after I heard the disrespect, the showing up the opponent stuff ends when the match ends. That's just factually incorrect. It's not true at all. Case in point, Ben Shelton a year ago when he did the whole phone celebration thing to like put it in his place after the match was over. He's just a prick. Like it's not during the match and it ends after the match. It's like he's petty. He's a petty villain. And it's great for tennis. That's where I think I might have gotten lost or maybe poorly communicated it from what I was trying to say. I fully embrace, accept, acknowledge, enjoy that Novak Djokovic is great for tennis. I don't want Novak to retire. I root against Novak constantly. I want him to play forever because I get no bigger thrill than watching my favorite player, who I think will one day be the GOAT, and Carlos Alcaraz, go head to head with Novak. I truly don't want Novak to leave the sport because I know that's going to hurt tennis when he does, and it's going to be less exciting. And you're right. He's the greatest. Novak Djokovic is the greatest tennis player that ever lived. He did it during Federer and Nadal's primes. He overtook them both. He outlasted them both. He outplayed, outwitted, outlasted. He survived. And now it's on Carlos Alcaraz to chase him down. In my opinion, he already has. But yeah, the only point I'm trying to make is just he's not likable. Nothing I'm saying about his greatness or what you're saying about how much he's done for the sport, all that's true. I enjoy and appreciate it. He's just not likable. He's not a likable human being unless you identify as a Novak Djokovic fan, which a lot of people do. But to me, like, giant prick, great villain, historically great villain, even across other sports. If I'm trying to name who are the best villains in my lifetime, probably number one is Novak Djokovic. I can't think of somebody who's been a better villain through the years than him. And it's because of his greatness. He is great first and foremost. Then he's a prick and a villain to me.
Who's his comp? Is he like Aaron Rodgers level prick villain?
He's Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers actually was the greatest quarterback to ever live. Aaron Rodgers is a villain with one Super Bowl ring who gets the credit like he's Tom Brady's biggest rival. Like, and that now I know there's going to be people who want to jump in on that. We're going to have a dialogue. He's super talented. He didn't win shit other than one Super Bowl. Novak is the winningest winner to ever win on a tennis court. And I will tip my cap to his greatness. But that doesn't make him likable along the way.
Yeah, understood. Last comment comes from Guy. Electric 810 Twitter rant coming on July 31st on the official Sleepers Media Twitter account that is verified somehow. Should we be concerned?
Yeah, I think so.
Guy, you're worrying us. I think you need to go back to the common sense bit or something, whatever it was.
I will
Prove your
say
sanity.
this did cash the over on days we would be okay without worrying about Guy having control of the socials. Like I had 3 days less than this line, so we're in a good spot.
Makes sense.
Was that it for today?
That was it for today. Is there a reason why someone should join the Discord, Gregory?
Well, you can join the Discord to interact with us and help us with the show every single day. It's literally how we start every single episode. I look forward to reading people's comments every day. I was in the Discord yesterday because you and I are privately working on a project where we're going to rank some things. And I went into all the individual team channels and basically said, hey, I need you guys to make your case for these players. Here's the players I'm considering. Here's what I'm considering them for. Let me know why I should include them in these rankings. And I got a lot of really good input. Honestly, shout out to Michigan State fans for being overwhelmingly rational and good about the way they viewed things yesterday. Not that I should be surprised, but like they talked me out of ranking some of their own players on lists, which I didn't expect. You had some other fan bases contribute and really helped me get a better pulse for where players' expectations should be. So those are the types of things happening in the Discord. A lot of entertaining stuff as well. It's $9.99 a month. It's the number one way to support us and keep the lights on for this show in the off season as we get closer and closer to college basketball season. Only 15 weeks away from games. And we had 2 Illini members join the Illinois contingent in the Discord yesterday. That little area is getting stronger and stronger. One of them is a legend, literally an Illinois basketball legend. Stephen Bardo is in our Discord. Bardo is now a paying, supporting member of the Sleepers. You saw him on our NBA draft show. We're huge fans of Bardo, so that's really cool to see Bardo join the Discord. And then O'Rod's also joined last night, and he is also an Illinois fan. So big day for the Illinois contingent in the Discord cart.
Yeah, if Stephen Bardo can support us, you can too, damn it.
Amen to that. Let's get to the show. But first, do you think Stephen Bardo needs any air, heating, assistance?
I think even the greats like Bardo need it.
You know, I mean, back in his day, not to call the man past his prime or anything, but I've seen the highlights. I mean, Stephen Bardo and air, those things were one and the same when he was in an Illinois uniform. He was probably boosted by the good folks at Duncan Mechanical Solutions cart. Comfort, quality, that's their standard. If you're looking for heating, air, plumbing, kitchen, bath remodeling, emergency services, whatever you need most, look no further. Duncan Mechanical Solutions, serving Northeast Indiana, Southern Michigan. If you go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com, you can get 20% off your first order. Tell them Sleepers sent you. Promo code SLEEPERS. Duncan Mechanical will have you covered. Once again, a day that Carter doesn't know the topics for. Once again, a day that I put him through a draft that he didn't prepare for. So this should be fun. This one isn't going to be like a competitive draft necessarily. You and I are going to...
I'm not doing it then.
You're only willing to compete. Like, that's just how you're wired.
Just drafting the draft. What I look like Ronald Reagan?
What if it's us competing against ourselves, like together? Because honestly, this is something I learned from Friday with the Swing Happy guys. You and I have to get better at being together as opposed to being against each other. There's going to be times where we need to like join forces and win. And right now, I don't think we're good enough at that. So we need reps on that.
Okay, got you.
Locked in?
Yeah, I'm locked in.
Okay, so here's mission accomplished is to do this task together and feel good about it when we're done. What the task is, I want to basically do a mock NBA draft, kind of like when we did the NBA draft redraft, but I want to draft for the lotteries. There's 14 spots, and any player who has not yet played a real NBA game can be drafted. So you could take the players that were selected in this year's draft class, meaning Sar, Reese Shea, Reed Shepard, Klingon, Edie, all of them. All of them are eligible. You could take the players in next year's draft class, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Kasparis, etc. You could take the players in the following year's draft class, AJ DeBanza, Caleb Wilson, Darius Acuff, Cam Boozer, however you want to. This is a draft and stash draft. Any player who has not played a real NBA game as of Tuesday, July 23rd is eligible to be taken. We're going to alternate picks. So you can either draft first or you can draft second here. But I just want to go through and get a sense. Everybody says this class was super weak. Everybody says the next two classes are awesome. Who's going first overall, and so on and so forth. Any questions before we begin?
No. Got it.
Do you want to draft first or second?
I like to draft first.
I'm very nervous about what you're going to do first. I hope you do the right thing.
I'm taking Cooper Flagg.
You're taking Cooper Flagg first overall.
Yes.
Should I do the right thing or should I do the me thing?
If the me thing is you picking Zach Edey, I'm gonna say no.
No, the me thing's not me picking Zach Edey. The me thing is my scouting department has flagged some concerns with a
Oh,
certain player.
okay.
The certain consensus number 2 here. Some would say even the consensus number 1 that is now available to me at 2. My
Okay.
scouting department's a little concerned about who he's going to be,
Okay.
personality wise, person wise.
Go ahead and be yourself.
But if the Pistons were at 2 in this draft and didn't take AJ DeBanza, I would riot. So it's AJ DeBanza. It's AJ
Wow.
DeBanza second.
Advance a second. Okay.
It's AJ DeBanza second overall. Yep.
How many players do you think from this year's draft class are going to be in this exercise?
I'd set the over under at 0.5, honestly, maybe 1.5. It's tough.
Sheesh.
It's tough. I mean,
Uh,
unless you, I guess it would be Reed, right? Like Reed or make an argument for Klingon or Edie or Khalil.
yeah. Let's see here. All right, so I'm at 3 with the third.
Um,
Yeah, third pick, right?
yeah, you're at 3.
Okay. With 3, I'm not gonna I'm gonna take Dylan Harper at 3.
Dylan Harper 3, really
Yeah, Dylan Harper 3.
interesting.
The
Not
players that were in contention at 3 for me were him, Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, and Nolan Traore.
okay. Well, who I'm taking it for is not one of those 3 players. Who I'm taking it for is Cam Boozer.
Cam Boozer at 4.
Taking Cam Boozer at 4. I would have taken Cam Boozer at 3 after DeBanza. Thought about
Talk,
taking him at 2,
talk,
honestly.
talk to me on that a little bit.
Look, I think Dylan Harper's great. I think he's very good. I think he's one of the better guard prospects we've seen in a while. I think there's a lot of really good guards that come through and will be coming through in these classes. Like Darius Acuff probably gets taken in this at some point. Nolan Traore, you mentioned. Like, I think you can get explosive guards. I think you can find them. I think the pitch of what Cam Boozer is with his size, with his winning, with all the intangible stuff he brings is more unicorny than this really explosive guard that Dylan Harper is.
Got you. So you're looking for a little bit of you know, unicorn unicorn hunting.
I
That's
think Boozer should have gone third in this draft, if we're being honest. That is my read on it. And you're fine to disagree. I don't have issue with disagreeing, but I am surprised he was still there at 4.
got you. Okay. 5, I'm going to go actually in conjunction with wanting to be on the same page here. I want to go either I want to go either Edgecombe here or Peterson.
Ooh, I like the Darren Peterson shout. I think I think we're on the right track, no matter which way you go here. I'm pretty.
Mm,
I know who I would go
I'm.
out of the two.
You said what?
I know who I would go out of the two.
I'm gonna go Edgecombe right now out of the two.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I'll go Edgecombe.
That's what I would do. Okay. Um. It's tough from here. I'm really being wooed by the recent footage that we saw, but I'm going to take Ace Bailey at 6.
He's Bailey 6. Okay.
I'm going to take Ace Bailey at 6, but I think the other Darren Peterson is right there.
Ace Bailey at 6. Then oh, is it time to pick an Illini player yet? No,
You could.
no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think. Okay. I am going to go with this pick. Hmm. This is tough.
Should we reset the board at all? Do you want to?
Yeah, can you give me a little reset here?
So through the top 6, Cooper Flag, AJ DeBanza, Dylan Harper, Cam Boozer, VJ Edgecombe, Ace Bailey. From there, I think all of those are relatively unicorny, other than Dylan Harper, but I get why Dylan Harper would go that high. Darren Peterson, I think Caleb Wilson, both from the 26 class, are somewhere on the list. Nolan Traore, I definitely think is somewhere on the list. I think Darius Acuff in the 26 class, if you're going guard. I think the overseas duo of Demon and Kasparis are probably not super far off the list.
Still
And
haven't
I
gone
also,
Darren Peterson.
what's that?
Peterson still hasn't been picked, correct?
Darren Peterson has not been picked.
I think I'm going Darren Peterson at this spot.
Okay. Darren Peterson off the board at 7. I'm gonna go Nolan Traore 8. I was so wowed by what he did in that one event a couple weeks ago for I think the ANGT. He was
Mm,
so absurdly good.
so good.
Just so absurdly good. I'm gonna take him 8.
Can I do the first like shocking pick? Like I'm wooed by an event I saw this summer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy the Chris Sinak thing.
At 9.
Yeah.
At 9.
Hmm.
Oh.
I think at 6'10", 230, and what he does, like you talked about wanting to get guys that are still unicorny. Chris Sinak is unicorny.
At 9?
Hmm.
Oh. Oh. I don't like that. But I accept that. But I don't like that.
I
But I
love it.
accept that. Okay. Oh boy. I don't think we can let Caleb Wilson fall any further. I'll take him at 10.
Take Caleb Wilson at 10.
Yep. A lot of 26 guys in this exercise right now.
Now I'm at 11.
You're at 11. We have 4 more spots. We haven't picked a player from the class that just got taken.
Oh, we haven't, have we?
We haven't.
Hmm. I am gonna pick one of those guys at this spot.
Who?
Isaiah.
IRS. Okay.
Isaiah Reed Shepard.
I thought you were gonna get even crazier than that, but I'm okay with that. Okay.
Yep. Isaiah Reed Shepard.
That feels right-ish. He's pretty one of one at this point. I don't hate that. Um, I'm going back to the Brotherhood hype here, but I'm gonna take Malawak.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of off the board. I think there's a chance he doesn't even go this high in his classes NBA draft, but I'm gonna buy that he ends up pretty unicorny as a rim protector. And
Oh, you were gonna find a way to go another way at that from another Brotherhood spot.
Khan.
Mr. K2.
But IRS to K2 would be a lot.
That'd be a whole lot. All right. It's time. It, it's Kasparov's time.
Really?
Kasparov's check is on shine. Yep.
Before Igor Demon?
Yep. Blame BYU social team.
I am gonna take Darius Acuff at 14. I just think that man's a dog. And if Reed Shepard and Rob Dillingham rose up the charts as a Calipari guard, I think Acuff is going to do the same as his first big Arkansas trial. I think it's going to be great. So there you have it. That was actually a pretty fun exercise. I think I'm happy with our conclusion there. Do you have any thoughts?
I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Actually, yeah, no thoughts. I think I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so to read it back, Cooper Flag 1, AJ DeBanza 2, Dylan Harper 3, Cam Boozer 4, VJ Edgecombe 5, Ace Bailey 6, Darren Peterson 7, Nolan Traore 8, Chris Sinak 9, Caleb Wilson 10, Reed Shepard 11, Kaman Malak 12, Kasparis Yakashonas 13, Darius Acuff 14. How many more names would we need to read to get to Zach Edey? Like, are you getting to like Koa Pete, Igor Demon, God forbid Trey McKenney? Like how
No, okay, no, that's where you lost me.
Malik Thomas? There's a lot. There's really good players. Jasper
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah. I think Edie would be somewhere in like the 27 range.
He'd be a first round pick in this
Yes.
exercise's draft.
Yes.
Okay. I hope so. Topic 2 today. I want to know if you believe. Simple as that. I just want to know if you believe. And I have 10 different things I want to know if you believe in specifically for college basketball next season. I'm calling this the college basketball belief meter. And I guess we got to define the different ranges of belief here from you. I'm thinking just like a simple, like, I don't believe, I really believe, I might believe. You okay with those categories?
Don't believe, might believe, really believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, simple as
Gotcha.
that. But
That
as an
works.
example, before we get into the college basketball items, could you give me like something that fits each category in your everyday life? Like what is something you don't believe
Um,
or
I
don't
don't
believe in also? Like that person just doesn't have your belief.
okay. Well, currently Coach USA Steve Kerr, I don't believe in that guy. Um, I maybe believe in DGL being the best guard, out or the best point guard on Illinois' team, compared to Kylan Boswell. I have unreal belief in Cooper Flag being the number one pick next
That's a
season.
lot less fun than the examples I was looking for. I was like hoping like you don't believe in spiders.
I mean, I could certainly come up with something like that as well.
We don't have to. We can just get to the
I
gimmick.
don't believe in aliens. I don't care what anyone says. I don't believe in aliens. Um, I semi believe in Sasquatch. I just have questions on what he actually looks like, but I do believe there is a massive human being out there who Matt Painter didn't find and just went down the wrong path. I very, very, very much believe in that my dad's support of me held me back in my basketball career.
Yeah. Yeah, you do believe in that. That's crazy. Okay, let's get to it. I have 10 of them. I'm just going to go down the list. I don't know if these are in order of excitement or non-excitement. I have no idea. They're just kind of how they came into my head when I made this in bed last night. Number 1, what's your belief meter on Trey Kaufman-Renn making an all Big Ten team this season?
I I believe that. I believe that.
That's not a category. It's I might believe or it's I really believe with
I
some
really I
conviction.
really believe. I really believe. Now that answer would have changed if there was some type of distinction on what team that is. But I believe that he will make his way onto an All Big Ten team.
Okay. Interesting. So that would have him around the top 15 players in the Big Ten. I bring this up because you and I are working through the exercise right now of ranking the best Big Ten players.
He might not be top 15.
He might not be top 25, Cart. And I know this is not a spoiler because we haven't solidified our list yet. But I went to the Purdue channel in the Discord yesterday and was like, guys, I need help. I need an argument. Because before this exercise, it felt like TKR is for sure a top 25 player. And then you get to doing the exercise with all 18 teams, Cart. Like, how can you justify putting TKR over like a Julian Reese or a Vlad Golden or a Great Osobor? And now there is an argument. Someone in the Purdue channel was like, go watch the tape of the Great Osobor game. TKR outplayed him. They were head to head. TKR was better. So that is the argument. But those are the names that are like in the 15, 10 to 20 range in this league. Like, it's a little scary for actual like accolade propositions to me that I think we're going out on a limb for TKR a little bit.
Yeah, but I believe that he'll find his way onto an All Big Ten team, like
Okay.
third team.
Okay. All right. Then that may need to tweak our rankings. Next on the list, how much do you believe this? One of Indiana's starting guards, which I intend to be Miles Rice or Cannon Carlisle. You intend to be Miles Rice and Trey Galloway. One of them shoots 40% or more from three over the whole course of the season.
I don't think any of them do.
So you don't believe that?
I don't believe that, no.
So you're not buying because there is some like these guys are going to shoot better. It's going to work.
Yeah, shoot better. 40%, no.
What do you think feels like the right number?
36.
How much do you think they need one to hit 40 for this to work?
I don't think they need any of them to hit 40, to be honest.
Okay. All right. That one's pretty simple. Belief meter. Dusty May will win an NCAA tournament game this season.
I kind of believe that.
You might believe it.
I might believe that, yeah.
How come you're not strongly swayed either way on that one?
Because I can't say, given the roster as a whole, that I 100% totally wholeheartedly believe that this is a team that will for sure win one NCAA tournament game.
Okay.
But like, I feel like if they get there, besides last season, like Dusty has shown that he can win the NCAA tournament. So like, I have belief that guy can get one game if he gets there.
Like, if he's there, you're more confident than like the whole proposition of getting there first.
If he's there, I'm confident in it because of Dusty. I'm confident because of Dusty.
There's some conviction. Wow. Okay. I like it.
So I kind of believe that, but they gotta get there.
I like it. That's where I would be too, for the record. Next on the list, Kerr Kriisa leads Kentucky in scoring, and it's good for Kentucky.
No.
How much do you believe that?
I don't believe either of those statements.
You think it's Jackson for sure?
I think it's Jackson, and I think that's what's best for Kentucky.
I'm being duped by the overreactionary footage, but I kind of believe Kerr Kriisa might lead this team in scoring. I might believe it.
There's a second part of that.
I might believe it might be good for him too.
Ooh, might, huh? Look at you swing on. Do you have a Kerr Kriisa jersey en route?
Kerr Kriisa was the starting point guard of the team I predicted would win the national title 2 years ago. Like, believing in Kerr Kriisa it's within me. The problem is that when I picked them to do that, they immediately lost to Princeton, and Kerr Kriisa was afraid to shoot a wide open shot from the corner with a minute left. Not great. A neutered version of Kerr Kriisa is not a version that I want to be around. Next up, Duke wins the ACC regular season. How much do you believe that?
Full belief. This team's good.
100% belief.
100% belief.
Not worried about Carolina.
Might be the most belief I could feel all throughout my body.
Not worried about Carolina at all.
No.
Okay. All right. We can keep it moving. You believe in the talent. UConn and Dan Hurley and Alex Karaban and Abe Mahaney makes the Final Four again this season.
Might. Might believe it.
Might believe it. Why don't you fully believe? It's Dan Hurley. Why don't you
Yeah, but
fully
like,
believe?
dog, some like, come on, come on,
It's Dan Hurley.
not three tournaments in a row.
I mean, you get there. You talk about like once he's there, it's Dusty. Dog, once it's there, it's Dan Hurley. What coach is going to look across the sidelines and feel like I can get this guy? Nobody.
If you can, though, isn't a good time to do it right now
Why?
because he just spent a summer participating in a twerk contest for the Lakers.
I don't know. I think he's back.
God, that sucks. Then,
Back and he's better. And he's better.
aren't you bad as ever?
Forever. Tear us
God,
free forever. All right.
okay.
How much do you believe this? Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper will both end the season being taken 5th or higher in the NBA draft. Top 5 picks.
I totally believe it.
You completely believe that.
Completely believe it.
Rutgers is going to put 2 guys in the top 5 of the NBA draft.
Yes, they are.
Kind of feel like one of them falls out. I don't know why. I don't know which one, but I'm just.
The thing is, I might even believe they both go top 3.
Don't you think there's a little chance they like cannibalize each other though? Like one of them's great and one of them's just good.
That the difference between that will be who goes like 2 and who goes 5.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm going I might believe it, but I should be full belief on that. I'm still trying, Rutgers fans. 3 left. How much do you believe Hunter Dickinson wins National Player of the Year?
I fully believe it.
Fully.
Fully. I fully believe that the best player on the best team in the country can have my full belief to be National Player of the Year.
Even with all your Hunter Dickinson-esque related questions.
Those don't come from me. They get thrown on me for some reason. I don't have those questions.
Okay. Over Mark Sears, over RJ Davis?
Yeah.
Okay. I fully believe it for the record. I thought I would get you to say something different on that, but hey, look at you. You seem to have gotten onto my games. 2 left. How much do you believe Illinois will have 2 one and done players from this roster? 2 freshmen that go one and done to the NBA immediately next offseason.
I kind of believe it.
Kind of believe it.
Yeah.
We've been projecting both in the lottery. A lot of places project both in the lottery.
One will for sure.
Reclassifying kids tend to come early to leave.
This is the thing. It's kind of a separate question because I fully believe that both are going to go. Both are going to go. Do I think that one of them will actually be worthy of going more than the other? That's where I'm kind of like, I kind of believe.
But I don't think worthy matters, right? It's just, are they going to go?
Are they going to go? Yes, I fully believe they're going to go.
So you fully believe they're only going to get 1 season of Yakashonis and Will Riley?
Yes.
Who do you think's more likely than the other to go?
Will Riley
is more likely to go.
Yeah, I don't think he really even wants to play college.
There's a world where Kasparis is awesome and somehow they rope him back in for another year.
Yeah, and he loves champagne.
Could happen. You really think so? I mean, I love champagne, but that's me. I'm not a European superstar.
You got a little Jack Shonas to your game.
All right. Final one. How much do you believe that Alabama will finish the season as the #1 overall seed heading into the NCAA tournament?
#1 overall seed? I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? I'm shocked by that one. Why?
Because this is one thing that keeps coming into my head when I think about this Alabama team. I know they're very talented, right? And they got all these pieces. We love them, right? This was not like the greatest regular season team last season. Like they were good, don't get me wrong, but they had defensive struggles. They had struggles beating some teams. #1 overall seed. And now that I'm going through this in my head, like maybe the Big 12 cannibalizes itself and, you can't get a Kansas or a Baylor as the #1 overall seed. But I feel more confident in maybe picking those guys or like a UConn or something as the #1 overall seed over Alabama. So
Okay.
maybe might believe. Maybe not
No, no,
believe
no,
at
no,
all is a
no.
little too
Stand behind
strong.
it. You don't believe. You're now a Bama skeptic in my eyes. I get it. I've been the Bama skeptic here. I'm going to say I fully believe this, largely because I think the Big 12 is a gauntlet, and I think the top of
Right.
the SEC is a little more open.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If Bama's really good, they can run away with it. Okay, that's my belief meter game. Thanks for believing. How much do you believe in me?
I believe in you more than anyone in my life.
Oh,
Topic three is a fun one today, and I want to give a lot of credit to the person who inspired this topic with the work that they did on this article, and you need to go read it. Shout out to Isaac Trotter, who has an article that came out through CBS Sports. College basketball's most innovative offensive coaches. He has the 10 basically best, most innovative offensive coaches in college basketball. X's and O's savants is the quote in the headline of this article. If you go through and read it, it's one of my favorite reads that I've had in a very long time. There's film for each of these guys. There's like specifics on what makes their offense special, what makes each offense unique, how they do things differently than every other coach in the country at a genius level. It's really insightful. It's really interesting. I'm not going to reveal any of those specifics because I think you should want to read it yourself. And Isaac did a phenomenal job on it. Go follow Isaac Trotter as well. He's one of my favorite Twitter follows. Anyways, by the way, in this article, there's links, speaking of the film, links to Eric Fawcett, links to Joe Jackson, other people that I love following who do great film studies. So a lot of smart people involved in the writing of this article. My question to you is, have you seen this article, number one?
No.
Good. My second question to you as a follow-up is, well, this isn't even a question. This is a direction. I want you to guess the top 10 and see how many you can get.
Okay.
That's the game.
Well, before I do that, let me um
No cheating.
okay, I was just gonna pull up Isaac's article, but I won't do
Yeah,
that.
no, you're going to close out the article. So here's the game.
Okay, I just closed it out.
Well, actually, it did go from like light to dark on your face. So I feel like the article may actually be closed. But
Oh, well, I was loading up Twitter and then I closed it out.
okay, so you get 13 total guesses before you lose. 3 strikes and you're out, basically. That's the rule. I have put these 10 coaches into 4 categories to help you. And I also think they're relatively obvious. That's my hint to you in general. Like, it's all the good offenses in college basketball. You should be able to get most of these. The 4 categories are champions, great runs, like aka you made a Final Four, great runs, knocking on the door, and tiny darlings everyone wants us to believe in. That's the 4 categories. There are 3 in the first 2. There's 3 champs. There's 3 great runs. There's 2 knocking on the door. And there's 2 tiny darlings everyone wants us to believe in. The floor is now yours. You get 3 wrong guesses and you lose the game.
Okay. I'm just gonna start with Dan Hurley.
Dan Hurley is on the board in the champs.
Scott Drew.
Scott Drew is on the board in the champs.
So there's 3 in the champs.
There's 3 in the champs.
Obvious one.
I don't know that I can answer that. As far as like offensive genius goes, I wouldn't have thought he was a guarantee on this list. But as far as like obvious champ goes,
Yeah.
yes.
Bill Self.
Bill Self is on the list. Those are your champs. You
See, I
cleared out
love
that
Bill
category.
Self, but I've never been like, oh hell yeah, Bill Self offense.
Yeah, really. Like I said, go read the article because it's really insightful, and I don't want to give too much away. But it goes into what makes the Bill Self offense very unique, and that was one of the maybe more surprising names on the list, even though Bill Self is Bill Self.
Okay, Matt Painter.
Matt Painter is on the list in the great runs category.
Matt Painter.
Really in-depth stuff about the Purdue post-oriented offense. They had one season where they weren't top 10 in post usage in like the last decade. And they were like it was all by design. Every other season they've had a great post player been special. It's interesting.
Nate Oates.
Nate Oates is on the list. Car, you're kind of crushing this, not to get ahead of ourselves, but look at you. We have one more in the great runs category. But you could also move to knocking on the door or small darlings.
Great runs category. Huh. Is I don't know if this is a great runs category, but is Underwood on the list?
Underwood is not on the list. That's one strike.
Damn it. Huh.
That is
Okay.
one strike. Before we continue, do you consider Brad Underwood to be a great offensive mind?
I guess I put a lot into last season, but I really liked what it was. But I guess it wasn't, it was more so like the guys just being able to do freely things. It wasn't necessarily like, I don't know. I
Brad
do.
would have been a really interesting one. I would have liked to see him written about in this context because I would almost like someone smarter than me to tell me whether or not Brad's a great offensive mind. He's had 2 top 10 offenses before. He's had other offenses in the 30s. I actually had the number 1 offense at Oklahoma State, so that's 3
Yeah.
top
I,
10
I feel
offenses.
like what the thing with Brad that separates it, and in my head, is because he doesn't do it the typical, like to me, he does a little bit of NBA type stuff where he hunts mismatches and like gets the mask on a mismatch, Terrence Shannon on a mismatch, or like a Coleman Hawkins in a mismatch. And I feel like he really takes advantage of that. And you sometimes don't see that at the college level. Even like when a guy like Dane was rolling, like they just started feeding Dane. Like that's kind of how he operates, a little NBA like in that sense. But all right, let me get back to these coaches though. Um, let's see here. I don't think it. No, I wouldn't put him on there. Wouldn't put Todd Golden.
Incorrect. I'm
Todd Golden's
disappointed
not
in you
on
now.
there?
I'm disappointed in you now. You're blowing it. You think
Todd Golden for sure be on there.
really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. He does great. I think he's great. I think they do great offense.
He's had 1 top 40 offense in 5 years as a head coach.
But I like it.
They were 139th in adjusted offensive efficiency in 2023 at Florida.
Yeah, Justin.
My gripe with Golden is he never runs anything. Like
I felt really good about Todd Golden being in that.
you can't have another X. Do you want some hints here? You're missing 1 great run. You're missing 2 knocking on the door. You're missing 2 tiny darlings.
Can I get one extra guess because I feel like I wasted one, please?
I don't think we can just reward waste.
Like if this is how it's going,
If you get the next guess correct, you can get 1 X back. Yes. Otherwise,
okay.
you just lose the game. There's a lot of pressure on this one.
Mark Few.
Mark Few is in the great runs category. So you get 1 X back. We're going to just pretend Todd Golden never happened. You have 2 X's left. You have 2 in knocking on the door. You have 2 in small darlings.
Well, small darlings and knocking on the door.
To define knocking on the door, guys that have never made a Final Four. But there's reason to believe they could at some point.
Okay, just going through teams right now. Missing this. No, I don't think I put him up there. About the Big 12 teams.
I would put both these guys on paper. Like, I was not surprised to see them on this list. I was less surprised to see these names than Bill Self.
Any more Big Ten coaches on here?
No.
No. Okay. Thanks for that. Is Mark Pope on this list?
Mark Pope is on this list.
Okay. Mark Pope have really good offenses, like adjusted all that numbers wise.
He's great offensive mind, yeah.
Okay, I figured that. I just didn't know the numbers back that up as well.
I mean, last year they certainly did for BYU. He's had the 7th best offense his first season at BYU, 23rd in 2021, 14th in 2024.
Okay,
Took
gotcha.
Utah Valley from the 200s to 96th and 73rd. His offense.
Oh, McDermott.
Greg McDermott is on the list. And also, I'm now going to need you to get up from your seat and answer the rest of these from behind you.
I swear to God.
Greg McDermott is on the list, but I'm going to need you to comply by my rules for the integrity of this program.
Okay, I literally
Because that McDermott was just a little.
I went through Big East teams and I was like going through conference to conference, and then I was like, oh shit, Creighton.
He's turned away from the microphone. That's why he's muffled if you're listening to this. But integrity, he can't lie. Okay, knocking on the door, you have now cleaned out. The final two remaining are small darlings, and you have 1x remaining before you lose the game.
I thought I had 2. I earned 1 back.
You can get 1 wrong and you're still in the game, is what I'm saying. If you get 2
Oh, okay. Got you. All right. And just so you know, I was just going through Big East teams and I was like, oh shit. Like Creighton's a great offensive
We'll
team.
see about that if you nail these next 2. We'll see.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going to the big. No. See, okay. There's one interesting one that I think should be in here, but I know he's not. But I want to say it because I think it should be out there. Is Micah Shrewsbury on this list?
Micah Shrewsbury should be on this list. He's not.
That's bullshit. Sorry, excuse my language. Micah Shrewsbury should 100% be on this list.
You have no more X's. Do you want any more hints?
Yeah, can I get another hint?
One of the final 2 took a new job this offseason. One of the final 2 was a rumored Michigan candidate that I was very against.
Dog, ain't no way. Nico Medved is on this list?
Nico Medved is on this list.
Okay. Over Shrewsbury?
Nico Medved is on this list. I blame Kevin Sweeney.
Okay, yeah, me and Sweeney got to talk. That's kind of crazy.
But actually, what I will say, this is why the article's so good. It actually did make me like kind of bummed that Nico's not my coach. Like he runs really good stuff, and now I understand why. It was smart.
Now you get it.
Now I get it.
Okay.
This is a huge moment for you. You are 1 guess away from correctly nailing this entire list. It would be wildly impressive. And I just think there's no way you actually do get this name.
Okay. What tier is this coach in?
This coach is in the small, tiny little darlings tier. And also, if I'm being fully transparent, I am not 100% positive you know this man's name.
Okay. There's always a good chance of that. So this is it's a small school coach, right?
It's a small school coach who took a new job that I know you are familiar with his offense. I know your team, your coach should be very familiar with his offense.
That's who it is?
But I'm not positive you know his name.
No, I don't. Is it the Vanderbilt coach?
It's not the Vanderbilt head coach.
Wait, all right, actually let me guess this then, because you don't stop talking about the Michigan State stuff. That throws me off. Let me just operate here. Small school he took a new job this season.
Took a new job.
Small school coach. Is it Shirts?
First name?
Josh?
Josh Shirts.
Is that who it is?
That is who it is. Let me see your hands. Why'd you just look down to the left?
My phone's right there on the desk.
Let me see your phone. Hold the phone up. Don't close it. Give me the tap. Give me the power button tap. I need you under oath right now.
Mm-hmm. You want me to open the Safari tab?
Please just let me get a hand up.
Which hand?
I'd prefer your right. Please repeat after me. I, Carter Elliott.
I, Carter Elliott.
Solemnly swear.
Solemnly swear.
Under oath.
Under oath.
By Sleepers Media Enterprise standards.
By Sleepers Media Enterprise standards.
That I am truthful.
That I am truthful.
When I say.
When I say.
That I did not cheat during that exercise.
That I did not cheat during that exercise.
If you break that oath, Sleepers dies forever.
If I break this oath, Sleepers dies forever.
Oh, you didn't need to say that part. Now I'm just talking. The oath is over.
Okay.
Did you cheat?
I swear to God, I did not know.
Congratulations, Card. That was really impressive. Top 10 offensive coaches in college basketball. Scott Drew, Bill Self, Dan Hurley, Nate Oates, Mark Few, Matt Painter, Greg McDermott, Mark Pope, Josh Schertz, Nico Medved. Go read the Isaac Trotter article. He did a really, really great job. One big thing presented by Duncan Mechanical Solutions. What you got?
My one big thing is I want to send a shout out to my co-host Gregory, because I come up with like a topic every once in a while and I pull it out of my ass and it works. But this man comes with the heat every single day. And if we're at a standstill, he's got it. If we got ideas flowing, he's got it. The kid's special. He's a content idea machine. I couldn't imagine having him in the fold and just doing away with him if some people have done that in the past. Kid's special. And I just want to give you your flowers in that regard, because the 3 topics that we just did, I would have not thought about those at all, and I very much enjoyed all 3 of them.
Appreciate that. My brain feels very fatigued right now. I need the season to get here because we are just in like the straight up, how can we keep talking about the same teams and players 3 times a day every day? But I do really appreciate that, Cart. Thank you. That means a lot. My one big thing, I took a picture of this morning. I told you I had quite a troublesome morning, running some errands and just getting hit with adversity along the way. I drove by a local school here where my wife went to school, Porter Central High School, where my future children will probably go to school. My current children will probably go to school. And I drove by their baseball field. And I noticed, I think they have a new fence on their baseball field. It's a nice eye-catching little fence, colored logo, branded very nicely. But on the fence, from basically all across the center field wall, they had like a motto of some sort or a saying, and I took a picture of it. It says, "We work, learn, lead, teach, care, commit, excel." And then in right field, it said, "Onward." I hate that. I want that known right now. You can't become a catchphrase school. You can't become a shtick school. How many times have we seen this? PJ Fleck, Mel Tucker. If you have too many catchphrases, you're setting up everybody for failure. You've got 14 and 15-year-old kids that are going to step on that baseball field and see 7 different things. We work and learn and lead and teach and care and commit and excel. Pick one. Just pick one and have that be the motto. Simplify. Make it easy. I can't send my kid to a shtick school, Cart, and I just realized I think they're going to be in a shtick school system.
If you want to expand it, your child could live with us, and there's some schools around here too as well. So you can just so you know, just conversation starter.
What's Country Day's motto these days?
We win.
That's a good motto.